Hello and welcome everyone. It is Friday, June 15th, 2018. This past Wednesday was New Comic Book Day, best day of the week. A couple days late getting this one out there, but I've been really tied up at work and haven't had a chance to get this out. But better late than never, and man, was there a boatload of good comics this week, and there was a ton of first appearances. I don't think I've ever remembered this many first appearances popping up in a week, so this is a really good one. I got a bunch of books that I ordered a few weeks ago showed up, so I'm going to kind of run through those first, and then I'll get into my independents and DC and Marvel like I usually do. And throughout, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm recommending you pick up over the next few weeks and months, so stay tuned from that because I'm going to kind of tie stuff in as we go here. So anyways, let's get into it. Some of the stuff I ordered that a few weeks ago that just showed up was this Aberrant #1. I really like the cover on that one. That's cover A. I didn't like cover B, so I only got cover A. Artwork's pretty good in that. I haven't really read through it, but I flipped through it, and the artwork looks really good. The first time I've ordered from Action or Danger Zone. Bloodborne #4. I got the game variant for that. I really like that one. I got #1. That's not a bad. Never played the video game to be honest, but it's based on that. But I like the comics, so. Kong of Skull Island special 2018 special showed up, so looking forward to reading through that. Loved King Kong as a kid, so had to get that one. And Harbinger Wars 2 #1 finally showed up. I can't believe my shop didn't have this one in stock, but anyways, got it this week, so I'll take a read through it. I only got the cover A. There was a ton of covers for that, and I just didn't want all of them, so got that one, and I'll take a read. Sword Daughter #1. I got both A and B cover for that. Dark Horse Comics. I don't buy a ton from them, to be honest, but I'm going to take a look at that one. So I just said I don't buy much from Dark Horse, and here's another one. This is another one I mentioned I was going to get, and to be honest, I heard the reviews on this aren't all that great, so I'll take a read through it and see what it looks like. But anyways, I really like that cover B, the one with the ravens. That's a nice looking cover. Stabby Bunny #5 from Scout Comics. That came out a couple of weeks ago, and I got that today. Again, Scout Comics, man, they put out some nice stuff. I really hope you guys are open to buying from some of these independents, because Scout Comics is putting out some really good stuff. That's Zinnober #1, which I recommend. I didn't get that yet, but that was one of my picks this week, and man, is that a gorgeous cover. The B cover with the dragon. And the price on that one's really jumping up too, so I hope you got a copy of that. Rick and Morty, the B cover showed up. It's #38 if I remember right. So yeah, 38. Got the A cover a couple weeks ago, and anyways, got that one now. And big thank you to Comic Book Villain. Jeepers Creepers #2, the one for 10. Mentioned this one in one of my other videos, and I ordered that off Midtown. That finally showed up a couple days ago. As well as the Judge Dredd #1. I got the 1 for 10, the ink cover, as well as the 1 for 20 sketch variant as well. So really I like that sketch one. That's really nice. I do have to bitch about Midtown though. They sent me the 3 books I ordered in a flimsy ass bag and cheapest backing board you can buy. The bag wasn't taped. They threw the 3 comics in a paper bag and stuffed that in the cheapest ass cardboard mailer you can buy and mailed that from their store to me in the west coast of Canada. Do you think that thing showed up without being bent? Yeah, now I got creases, a couple creases on the spine on this one. The sketch cover, the one I really wanted, actually showed up in nice shape. How it did, I don't know. But that is just so crappy. I mean, come on, man. Put some effort into what you do, especially if you want people to go back. Like, I'm not going to go back and buy stuff from them. That's ridiculous. Anyways, that's been my rant. Analog #3 came out. A and the B cover, I picked those up. And I mentioned this, a couple times. This is being picked up and going to be made into a movie. Really good series. Only 3 issues in, it was 2 issues in when the movie was announced. So highly recommend you pick these up because you don't know where, if they're going to use stuff from the comics. So anyways, Magic Order #1 was out, and I read through this, and this is really good. I don't know if you had a chance to read it. I wasn't all that sure because a couple of Mark Millar's stuff, the last few things he's put out are they were okay, but they weren't great. This is really good. This is kind of like, it reminds me of like an R-rated Harry Potter. It's kind of what it reminds me of. And it's just a really cool story. I really liked it. So I got the 2 covers there. I got this 3rd one, and I think this one's doing pretty well actually. And I got the blank variant as well. So really good. I recommend that Magic Order if you haven't got it. And like I say, this one, they're not doing second prints on this one. So if you want that, you got to buy one of the first prints, and when they're gone, they're gone. Stellar #1 came out. I grabbed that. I really like the cover on that. That's just a cool, kind of reminds me of an old, 50s sci-fi picture. Really cool. And one I wasn't going to get, but my shop had a few copies, and the reviews were not bad on it, so I picked up Weatherman A and B cover. There is a one for $25, but I didn't get that one. I just got those 2. So we'll see how that is. Haven't read it yet, but it looks pretty good. Sounds like it's a decent story. So, all right. So I'm going to start off with Titans Special #1. There seemed to be a lot of confusion on this one. A lot of people were sending me messages saying, "Oh yeah, Crush's first appearance is in this," and somebody said their shop called DC, and DC told them it was going to be in here. But I think what the confusion is, a couple months ago I mentioned that when the news came out that Teen Titans 20 is going to be the first full appearance. That comes out on July 4th. The Teen Titans Special #1, that comes out June 27th, so 2 weeks from now. That comes out, and most likely what's going to happen is a Teen Titans Special #1 is going to be your first appearance of Crush, and then Teen Titans 20 is going to be your first full appearance. I pre-ordered those months ago, and that's what I think is going to happen, but we'll see. But that makes a lot more sense, because I mean, the series technically was supposed to end, and then DC, revamped it with new characters and stuff, and is relaunching a 20. So it makes sense that the Teen Titans Special #1 that comes out a week prior to 20 dropping is going to be your first appearance. So we'll see, but I think that's what's going to happen. Detective Comics 982. Man, I really thought something good was going to pop up in that. But it didn't, so anyways. We'll move on. I like the cover on that though, but man, I was bummed that nothing showed up on that. Batman, Prelude to the Wedding, Batgirl versus Riddler. Picked that one up. Picked up Man of Steel #3, and boy, is this a good series. I mean, this one's a little slower than the first 2. But it's only a 6-issue miniseries, and it continues on from Action 1000. It's all about Rolgazar and Superman. And I think Doomsday is involved, because there's a picture of his hand on cover 5, just down at the bottom of the screen. You kind of see a hand coming in with claws. Sure looks like Doomsday's hand, and one of my subscribers mentioned that, and I'm sorry I forget your name, but I got to remember to write this stuff down. But anyways, it's really good. Recommend you get it. And that's one that, down the road, the way they're pushing Rolgazar, and DC, as I'm guessing a lot of you saw that Jeff Johns is kind of out as the CCO of the movie division, and it looks like Jim Lee's taken over. So, and Jim Lee created this character. Who knows? But I really think Rolgazar is going somewhere, because DC's got to fix their movie division, because it sucks right now. Hawkman #1, I got the regular and the variant. That's a really nice looking variant. Sure, a lot of you picked that one up. Plastic Man #1 was out. Looking forward to this series, actually. It's kind of a fun series. I got the regular, and I got this really nice looking. I didn't even know this was coming out, but I grabbed it when I saw it. I got a couple of those. The kind of their Virgin variant covers, kind of like the Young Guns for DC, or for Marvel. I mean, it's a really nice cover. And I got Flash cover A, and I'm sure a lot of you picked this one up. The Matina cover, Flash B, gorgeous Matina cover. Gotta love his stuff. He's doing some really nice work. All his, well, not all of them, but most of his covers are pretty good. So, Sideways #5, another first appearance in Sideways. So the Showman, that is his first appearance. What this character, or if he goes anywhere, I have no idea. But anyways, that's first appearance, so I grabbed a couple copies of that one. Immortal Men #3, I really like this series. It's just a fun series. Batman Laughs is kind of a key figure in that. And in this issue, he shows up inside, and he's kind of coaching the Infinite Woman, who is, in my mind, a key character She's going to key character going forward anyways. And right at the end of the book, the last image in the book, she shows up with this big ass sword, and that sword, that's the first appearance of that sword. I know it's not a character, but that sword apparently has got some kind of powers to it. And I don't know if it's nth metal from the Dark Multiverse, or if it's something else, but it's that's going to be key going forward. So I recommend you pick that one up. And this is a really good one, this Wonder Woman Dark Gods story arc. The story in this, to be honest, was kind of lame. But there's a really big first appearance in here, and really nice Jenny Friesen cover too, so hope you got that one. But anyways, so there's these 4 dark gods that are coming towards Earth, and 3 of them show up in this issue. So you've got Mob God, the goddess of chaos and order, the god with no name, god of doubt and nothing, and then you got Savage Fire, the goddess of war. I think Savage Fire, goddess of war showed up in Dark Knights. I can't remember, so it might not be her first appearance, but these 2 is definitely first appearance. And the one guy in the back, King Best, he doesn't make an appearance in this issue, but he will most likely in either, well, obviously 49 or 50, because the story arc ends in 50. So I would definitely recommend you keep going with that Wonder Woman if you can, because that's those dark gods are going to be key down the road. So all these issues from DC where they're introducing all these characters, they're going to have big roles to play down in the future, because I mean, now that the dark or the source wall is broken, I mean, it's just opening up so many different characters and avenues and everything else for DC. It's just huge. Anyways, I picked up a couple more Deadpool #1, because that's the first appearance of Grofin the Regurger. He's a new Celestial that showed up in that, so I recommended last time that you pick that up. Got a 3rd printing of Spider-Man 797. I picked up a 2nd print of the Thanos Annual #1. And talking about Thanos, it was just announced that Donny Cates is writing, well, he's writing a 20-page story in a Thanos Legacy #1. That's a one-shot that comes out in September. Images on the screen. So I'm going to link a story down below that you should read, because it links Thanos to Requiem, who is showing up in Infinity Wars. So there's going to be a link between Infinity Countdown and Infinity Wars and Thanos and his whole time travel back to wherever he went to. So yeah, definitely get that one on your pull list, because there's going to be something big in there. And yeah, so that's a really good one. Anyways, back to stuff this week. I got the Thing, the infamous Iron Man. I got that. I only picked up cover B. I really like that. Now I mentioned this one, Marvel Rising Alpha. I was kind of laughing when I said I was going to get it, and I'm glad I did, because there is a first appearance in here, which I'm going to show you. Just got to move some of these books out of the way. So in the Free Comic Book Day, you got a first appearance of this character, Ember Quaid. So this whole kind of story revolves around her, and right at the last page of the book, you get the first appearance of Ember Quaid, who turns into the Emulator. So that's a new supervillain, apparently, in this in the Marvel Universe. So see where it goes, but if you haven't got that one, recommend you pick it up. They're just cover price, obviously, so that is a good one to get. Infinity Countdown #2, Dark Hawk. That's the variant cover, and there's also the regular cover. And again, another first appearance. Man, there's so many first appearances this week. It's hard for me to keep track of them all. So last page of this one is the Dark Starhawk shows up. So there you go. Another one showing up. Pretty sure that is a first appearance. I got to double check that, but if I'm wrong, just send me a message, but I'm pretty sure that's first appearance as well. And next up, what a lot of you picked up was Thor. I don't know about you, but I wasn't all that impressed with the artwork in that. I liked the Christian Ward story at the end. His artwork was really good, but the other one was kind of, yeah. Anyways, I grabbed a few variants. I got that. I like that variant. I got the blank variant. I grabbed the 1 for 10. I like that one. And the one I really like is this Christian Ward 1 for 25. I love that cover. I showed that as one of my picks of the week for my top covers. It's just a gorgeous cover. He does such nice. He did that Thanos 17, the variant for that too. It was just, oh, so nice. It's one of my favorite covers of the year. I think I'm going to have to do a top variants of the year. I have to do a video for that. My last one for Marvel, which I'm guessing a lot of you got, was Venom #2. I got the regular cover. I got the Young Guns variant. And the one for 25. I really like that one for 25 cover. Really nice. Going to show some more images in here. So I know at the end of #1 we got kind of that dragon thing flying up out of the eye. God is coming. Makes a big splash page in the middle. But I'm on the fence about this. I don't know what you got. I kind of think it's still, maybe that was more of a cameo in #1. And this is maybe what you'd call a first appearance. I'm thinking next issue, #3, is going to be first full appearance, because all you get is that splash page and this kind of this, you know, in the shadows and smoke there. You don't actually get a full story, so I'm kind of leaning towards being a cameo in #1, first appearance in #2, and maybe a first full appearance in #3. That's kind of where I'm leaning. Last one for Marvel. This was one of my picks of the week. Was The Weekend Presents Starboy. It's actually a pretty good story. I read through it. And, you know, I don't know if these characters are going to be, you know, this is kind of set in a mystical, futuristic town, and all. Alphatron is the name of the town, but there's a terrifying, the guy's called Jack the Chef Smiley, is kind of like, he's leading all the gangs, he's unified all the gangs, and he's this crazy killer dude who's leading them all, and because he smiles all the time when he cuts people up. But it's pretty, it's kind of an R-rated story. It's got some violence and grotesqueness and stuff in it, but last page, he gets thrown into this machine and he becomes the magical Starboy. So that's a really good one. All right, man, there's some really good stuff coming down the road. So one thing, Bloodstrike 23, I may have mentioned this in the past, but I'm going to mention it again. Cover B has got a cover by Rob Liefeld called The Pouch. It's a parody. It's kind of a parody of '90s characters, you know, with all their big guns and pouches and overemphasized stuff. So that comes out on June 27th. He introduced it on social media and it kind of took off. So they got that cover coming. I'd highly recommend you get that one, because it's not just a cover appearance. He's actually in the story, and that's part 2. So free comic book day. Bloodstrike was issue 0, which was part 1. This Bloodstrike 23 is part 2, and then it continues on from there. So there's a ton. Talking about Cosmic Ghost Rider, the whole month of September, there's like 20 different Cosmic Ghost Rider covers. I'm going to put a bunch of them on the screen while I'm talking here, but there's a list a few. There's Immortal Hulk #5. There's Avengers #8. Amazing Spider-Man #5. Weapon H #7. That one looks really cool. There's Thanos Legacy #1, X-23, Fantastic Four #2. So there's a whole whack of covers, so keep an eye out for those. And that reminds me a lot of when Wolverine first came out in the in Hulk 181, obviously. And then he sporadically showed up. He was showing up in different comics and stuff. Then Frank Miller did his 4-issue run. Then eventually in the late 80s he had his own series, but in between there he was on like covers all over the place. There were, you know, they were all, Wolverine was everywhere. And that, so Cosmic Ghost Rider, I'm not saying he's going to be as big as Wolverine, but I really think that character's going somewhere. So I mentioned Thanos Legacy #1, that's going to be big. Old Man Logan 43, that looks like it's got a new character called Shadow Tracer, so if you haven't got that on your pull list, I'd definitely check that out. And a lot of you may know this already, but Fantastic Four, when it relaunches, it looks like it's going to have a new character called Eradicus. Image of that on the screen is kind of a cool looking character, so keep an eye out for that. Probably, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you get Fantastic Four anyways. Avengers #8 is going to have their new headquarters is going to show up in that, so that's a cool one to get. Batman White Knight, I mentioned this every time that issue came out. I mean, it was either honorable mention or pick of the week for me. That was a great series. It's going to be DC Black Label's got their starting to publish their books. They're basically like their R-rated comics for adults and stuff. But Batman White Knight is going to be the first title to be released under that Black Label imprint. And that series is going to go somewhere. I really, if you haven't got Batman White Knight, all the issues, I highly recommend you hunt them down, because I can totally see that being made into a movie or a show, or you know, on Netflix or something at some point. It's just really good. So anyways, Justice League #3, that comes out in a little bit. I don't have the date actually, sorry about that, but that's where Green Lantern John Stewart becomes the first ultraviolet lantern. So that's one you're going to want to get. Definitely want to get that one. And I mentioned that, what else did I have? I had something else. Oh yeah, the Web of Venom. Venom, or Venom #1, one shot. There's 2 covers for that, and that doesn't come out till, I believe, August or September. So it's, you got quite a ways to go. But that's going to tie in, obviously, Venom and the whole history of the symbiotes and stuff. So that looks really good. But anyways, that's it for this week, folks. Some really good books out this week, and I will definitely be putting my videos out on time next week. You'll have your top picks on Monday, and my my comic haul video should be out most likely Wednesday. So take care, everyone. Have a good week. Bye for now.